Before we start our presentations today, thank you. I would like to say thank you very much for everyone's here coming to the event International Halal Dialogue, for Chairman BPGPH, Dr. Akil Irham, and invitees as well. And speakers here, I saw Dr. Rafiuddin, and then Mr. Ihsan Ofud, Ibu Poppy, and Pak Sapta we met yesterday as well, and last night at the dinner. But prior to starting the presentation, I would like, because our friends in Zoom meeting, they want me to say hello to them. Would like to speak French a bit. Pour nos amis et nos frères et nos sœurs qui suivent virtuellement depuis Zoom meeting, particulièrement des pays francophones qui parlent français, bonjour, salut et salam alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much. My slides, please. Oh, okay. It is eminently such an honor for BPGPH, Indonesia's Halal Assurance Organizing Agency, BPGPH, to be part of the Indonesian or International Halal Dialogue and part of ISEF as well, 2022. We would also express our sincere gratitude and appreciation to the committees so that we may have broader insights, fruitful discussions, and clearer understanding, particularly on Indonesia's halal policy and regulations, as well as potentials and challenges in the global halal industry and ecosystem. I believe this event could also inspire and empower policymakers, government officials, business leaders, entrepreneurs to develop an actionable, practical, and high-impact halal market strategy, particularly to spur the economic recovery and growth post-pandemic and during endemic. However, I would also initially to address the importance of halal certification in the framework of Indonesia's policy and regulations as a whole. I believe that some of you here have heard about this message or presentation or slides, because I presented this as well yesterday on Wednesday, last 2 days in Indonesia Halal Lifestyle Center as well. But of course, we need to deliver it again and again, because still until today, we receive so many queries about policy and regulations of Indonesia's halal quality assurance. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished speakers and participants, as perhaps mentioned earlier today, this morning by the chairman of BPGPH, Dr. Akil Irham, we have been receiving high demands and ample of proposal of mutual cooperation from various countries around the world. In total, 40 countries. From that 40 countries, there are 97 halal certifying agencies, either private or government-owned. They have submitted and uploaded their documents to our website system. We also respond to inquiries and propositions from foreign governments, authorities, international organizations, business actors, NGOs, and so on. President Jokowi and Vice President Ma'ruf Amin have initiated a policy to make Indonesia a global hub for the halal industry and ecosystem by 2024. Not a very long time, of course, and it has been envisioned as a driving force behind the economic growth and in order to realize the dream of Indonesia Maju, or Indonesia moving forward. It is indeed not a coincidence, as this year is the very first time Indonesia has held the Group of 20 presidency. The tagline chosen is Recover Together, Recover Stronger, urging countries to work and support each other as to recover together, grow stronger, and embrace sustainable development. This G20 presidency, as President Jokowi has stated, is a catalyst for an inclusive global economic recovery. And to spur the economic recovery, Indonesia needs to maximize the potentials that has not been adequately tapped, such as the halal industry and ecosystem. This niche sector has a lot to offer, particularly as halal has shifted into a global standard quality and gastronomy lifestyle, mainstream market, and trade competition trend. It has transformed into an ecosystem that attracts the world's attention due to its huge market and promising value. BPGPH surely is mandated to facilitate and encourage the economic recovery through the development of the trillion-dollar, I repeat, trillion-dollars, halal industry and ecosystem, such as food and beverages, fashions, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, tourism, media and recreation, and financial services. This is the SGIE reports 2022 issued by the Dinner Standard. As mentioned earlier, that Indonesia is in the 4th rank in the Global Islamic Economy Indicator and ranked number 2 for food and beverages. So Indonesia targets to be the first rank in the sector food and beverage in 2023, and in the sector fashion, modest fashion, in 2024. So hopefully it will become reality. So the BPGPH, we would like to share again and again these 4 paradigm shifts from the BPGPH, because this is really interesting. BPGPH perceives 4 paradigm shifts on halal: paradigm shift of juridical perspective, philosophical and sociological perspective, digital transformation perspective, and economic perspective. From the juridical perspective, Law number 33, 2014, Law number 11, 2020, Government Regulation 39, 2021, have in effect set a new legal framework and led to major changes related to halal policy and regulations. From previously voluntary and now mandatory, and from religious civil society authority to state authority. The regulations imply the state guarantees and facilitate the availability of halal products and services in the context of halal consumer protection. The laws also empower the BPGPH as the key government agency to oversee halal assurance. According to the regulation, most of products entering, circulating, and are traded in the Indonesian territory must be halal certified. The question is, which products? It is explained clearly in the decree of the Minister of Religious Affairs KMA 748/2021 regarding types of product and consumer goods product mandatory to be halal certified, as well as the decree of the Minister of Religious Affairs KMA 1360 regarding materials exempted from halal certification obligation. Another query is, can non-halal products can still be exported to Indonesia? Of course, definitely yes. These non-halal products are provided with a clear information or ingredients of non-halal. Notwithstanding, some may feel halal regulations discourage the ease of doing business. Some have questioned unnecessary burdensome scrutiny and costly requirements for halal certification and labeling, and insist that they fall under the definition of technical barriers to trade and violations of the General Agreement of Tariff and Trade, or GATT. So international institutions like the EU have, or the WTO have expressed such concerns to the BPGPH. So, the paradigm shift of the economic perspective, let's dissect closely the opportunities and challenges. The government has established halal industrial areas and provided fiscal and non-fiscal incentives. Domestically, Indonesian Ministry of Industry has estimated the potential value of the halal market and economic activities at $303 billion this year alone.
Bu Fitriana,
Yeah.
please can you make it short, please?
Yeah, okay. Okay, Pak. And also, Dinar Standard has estimated the figure $2.3 trillion in 2024. Therefore, Indonesian halal policy and regulation should not merely be seen as TBT or GATT, but a huge opportunity and great potential alternative value chain, which in turn contribute to the economic growth and welfare of the people. So one could argue that halal tariff provision are relatively small and far below the trade volume, transaction value, profits, and benefit to companies' image and reputations. And this is the paradigm shift from the philosophical and sociological perspective. So speaking about halal, I make it short. Speaking about halal is not merely speaking about religious or religious compliance. It is not merely speaking about 237 Indonesian Muslims population or 2.1 billion Muslim around the world, but we're also speaking about other people, believers or non-believers who are very concerned about halal, healthy lifestyle, animal welfare, food conservation, and modern civilization, I believe. And this is the paradigm shift from the digital transformation. Interestingly, 75% of Indonesian population have access to social media, and of almost 80% of them are Gen Z. So that's why we need to create this halal ecosystem with digital system, barcode, QR code, and so on. So as you can probably know that this is the timelines of the types of products that mandatory to be halal certified. This is the halal certification process. This is via importer and official representative. This is the sample of certificate halal. I would like to highlight a bit, please, Mr. Sapta, because we often receive complaints about this. This is the sample of certificate of halal. This is the samples of halal decree. So, we would like to advise for those who are involved in export, import, and business. You must be aware of the regulations and must carefully differentiate between halal certificate and halal decree. This is important because products entering, circulating, and are traded in the Indonesian territory will definitely use the halal certificate issued by the BPGPH, not the other first. So this is the exporting countries targeted by Indonesia. There are 21 countries. So this is our articles in the Jakarta Post about the policy and regulations of Indonesia's halal quality assurance. For those of you who would like to enrich your insights about this, we encourage you to read this as well. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished speakers and participants, in November, second week of November, inshallah, Dr. Akil will hold H20 or Halal 20 event in Lombok, inshallah. So we would like to invite all halal certifying agencies across the world, research institutions like Dinar Standard, and then government, ministries, institution, or private sectors as well. So we would, because we perceive that these countries, member of G20s, are benefited from this halal industry and ecosystem. So we would like to invite you all to the H20 event in Lombok next November, inshallah, before the G20 summit, inshallah. So hopefully this will contribute to improve the welfare and prosperity of the countries as well as our people. May God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, help and bless our efforts. Wallahul muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.